Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that we had started the discussion over the Panchayati Raj in the previous lecture. Okay. And these are the topics we have scheduled for the discussion under this particular series, like the introduction part, like the evolution of the Panchayati Raj, like 73rd Amendment Act of 1992, like compulsory and voluntary provisions, like PASA Act of 1996, Accession Act, like finances of the Panchayati Raj, like reasons for ineffective performance. Okay, so these are the topics we have scheduled for the discussion. Out of this, basically, we had done with the introduction part, and we have been discussing upon the evolution of the Panchayati Raj. In the previous lecture, I had told you about the history of Panchayati Raj, like how does, or you can say how did the Panchayati Raj existed in India before the Britishers, what the Britishers did with the Panchayati Raj, and then why we had to establish it again. Okay, and now we are talking about the evolution of the Panchayati Raj, like how the Panchayati Raj was evolved again in India. And basically, we had so far finished the Balwant Rai Mehta committee in the previous lecture. So now I'm going to ask you the question. Tell me two things about it. First is appointment month and year. Okay. And second is submitting report, month and year. Okay. So you're required to give me the answer of these two questions. You have 20 seconds to think about it, then I will give you the answer, and your time starts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20. The time's up. So basically, if we talk about the appointment month and the year, so appointment was made in the month of January 1957. Submitting report month and year was November 1957. So remember these dates. Okay, so we will start from where we had left in the previous lecture. Okay, so basically about the Balwant Rai Mehta committee, we were, you can say, discussing. We had seen the recommendations which were made by the Balwant Rai Mehta committee. Now, what we are going to see that we are going to see the implications of it. So basically, the state of Rajasthan was the first state to establish the Panchayati Raj. Okay, the scheme was inaugurated by the Prime Minister on October 2, 1957 in the Nagaur district. So, like if the question asks in the examination, like which is the Indian district, or you can say which is the first Indian district to accept the Panchayati Raj system, the answer should be the Nagaur district. If the question asks like which state is the first state which accepted the Panchayati Raj system, the answer is Rajasthan. Rajasthan. Thereafter, another state was Andhra Pradesh, which also adopted the system in 1959. Thereafter, most of the states adopted the system again. All right. So, most of the states created the Panchayati Raj institutions by mid 1960s. There were differences from one state to another with regard to the number of tiers. Like basically, they promised a three-tier government. All right. Now I'm going to ask you the another question. Like, what were the three tiers the Balwant Rai committee presented, and what are the elections type to them? You have 30 seconds to think about it. Then I will give you the answer, and your time starts now. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The times up. So basically the three levels are, first is Gram Panchayat. Second one is Panchayat Samiti. And third one is Jila Parishad. Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and Jila Parishad. Okay. So basically the Gram Panchayat is at the village level. Panchayat Samiti is at the block level. And Jila Parishad is at the district level. Okay. So these are the three levels. Now let's talk about the election type. Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, Jila Parishad. Okay. Gram Panchayat, direct elections. Panchayat Samiti, indirect elections. Jila Parishad, indirect elections. Okay. So that was their recommendations. So basically, when the different states were establishing the panchayats, basically there was a differences between the tiers. Okay, like how were tiers they were created. Relative position of Samiti and Parishad, like how the Parishad and Samiti were established, what should be the tenure, composition, functions, finances, and so on. Why? Because it was dependent upon the state legislatures. Alright, so that's why they were having the differences. For example, Rajasthan adopted the three-tier system, means Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, and the Jila Parishad, while the Tamil Nadu adopted only the two system. West Bengal, on the other hand, adopted the four-tier system. Further, in the Rajasthan Andhra Pradesh pattern, Panchayat Samiti was powerful as the block was the unit of planning and the development. While in Maharashtra Gujarat pattern, Jila Parishad was powerful as the district was the unit of planning and development. So basically, that's why there were so many differences between the conditions, because every state having their own conditions, every state having their own demands, every state government and the legislature having their own commitments to fulfill. So that's why they were modified the recommendations as per their needs. Okay, so that's the thing. Let's move ahead. Some states also established the Nyaya Panchayat, that is judicial panchayats to try petty civil and the criminal cases. It means that if we look at India, so we know that India having the three-tier judicial system, Supreme Court, High Courts, subordinate courts. Supreme Courts, High Courts, and the subordinate courts. Okay, but we know that these courts are already occupied by various cases. So if there is any local dispute which is of civil and the criminal nature, so what to do with them? So that's why the local judiciary was established, which is known as the Nyaya Panchayat, which having the petty civil and the criminal cases hearing and you can say jurisdiction giving powers. Okay. Thereafter, what are the study teams and the committees? Since 1960, many study teams, committees, and working groups have been appointed to examine the various aspects and the functioning of the Panchayati Raj system. And these are mentioned in the table like first was established in the 1960, the Committee on Rationalization of the Panchayati Statistics. Who was the chairperson? V.R. Rao was the chairperson. Another committee was established in the 1961, Working Group on Panchayats and the Cooperatives. The chairman was S.T. Mishra. Third committee was in the 1961 Study Team on Panchayati Raj Administration, V. Iswaran. Then, established in 1962, Study Team on Nyaya Panchayats, G. R. Rajgopal. Alright, that's the thing. Thereafter, serial number in 1963, Study Team on Position of Gram Sabha in Panchayati Raj Movement. Chairman was R. R. Divakar. In 1963, Study Group on Budgeting and Accounting Procedure of Panchayati Raj Institutions by M. Rana Krishnaiya. Thereafter, in 1963, Study Team on the Panchayati Raj Finances by K. Santhanam. In 1965, Committee on Panchayati Raj Election by K. Santhanam. On 1965, Study Team on the Audit and Accounts of Panchayati Raj Bodies by R. K. Khanna. Alright, so these are the things. In 1966, Committee on Panchayati Raj Training Centers by G. Ramchandran. 1969, Study Team on Involvement of Committee Development Agency and Panchayati Raj institutions in the implementation of basic land reforms measures. V. Ramnathan was the chairman. 1972, Working Group for Formulation of Fifth Five-Year Plan on Community Development and the Panchayati Raj, N. Ram Krishnaiya. 1976, Committee on Community Development and the Panchayati Raj by Srimati Daya Chobe. Okay, so these were the things. After this, the another committee we have is the Ashok Mehta Committee. It was appointed in December 1977, 20 years later, the Balwantraya Mehta Committee, because that was established or appointed in 1957. Okay. The Janta government appointed a committee on the Panchayati Raj institutions under the chairmanship of Ashok Mehta. Submitted its report in August 1978 and made total 132 recommendations to revive and strengthen the declining Panchayati Raj system in the country. Like what happened that after the Balwantraya Mehta Committee, the Panchayati Raj system was started to be established in India, but they were not evolving. Okay, or you can say they were going down and down. So basically, it was the 1977, 20 years after the first committee, when the Janta Party appointed the committee, and the main role given to them was to look at the measures to revive and strengthen the declining Panchayati Raj system in the country. And the main recommendations were first, the three-tier system of the Panchayati Raj should be replaced by the two-tier system. Okay, that is Jila Parishad at the district level, and below it the Mandal Panchayat consisting of group of villages with a total population of the 15,000 to 20,000. Like, as we know that the Balwant Rai committee promoted three things, but what they said that we should only promote it two tiers. Jila Parishad and below it was the Mandal Panchayat. It means instead of look after the villages separately, what we should do? We should basically merge them together. All right. Our district should be the first point for decentralization under the popular supervision below the state level. Okay. Thereafter, Jila Parishad should be the executive body and made responsible for planning at the district level. So these were the recommendations made by them here also. Thereafter, what they said there should be an official participation of the political parties at the levels of panchayat elections so that the panchayats could be politicalized and the local matters and the local issues could be dealt effectively. The Panchayati Raj institutions should have compulsory powers of taxation to mobilize their own financial resources. It means that they must not be dependent upon the state governmental sources, or you can say state government finance resources. But instead of this, they must having the financial resources so that they could fulfill their financial needs. There should be a regular social audit by a district level agency and by a committee of legislators to check whether the funds allotted for the vulnerable social economic groups are actually spent on them. It means that this will reduce the chances of corruption because the main aim behind establishing the Panchayati Raj was to look after the local issues, deal with them effectively. All right. So basically, if suppose the government is providing the funds, but the officials of the panchayats they are not using it, then is it worth it to establish the Panchayati Raj? The answer is clear cut no. So that's why they said that there should be a regular audit. Okay. And this could be done by the district level agency and by a committee of legislators to check whether the funds allotted for the vulnerable social economic groups are actually spent on them. Okay, so that the corruption could be reduced. Thereafter, the state government should not supersede the Panchayati Raj institutions. In case of an infirmity supersession, election should be held within 6 months from the date of supersession. It means that the state legislature should not having the power to suspend or supersede the Panchayati Raj institutions. And if the state legislature do some kind of this due to some extraordinary circumstances, then basically within the selected time period of the 6 months from the date of supersession, the new election should be held and the new Panchayati Raj institutions should be elected. Thereafter, the Nyaya Panchayat should be kept as separate bodies from that of development panchayats. They should be presided over by a qualified judge. Okay, like there must be difference between the judiciary and executive. Okay, the judiciary must be under the qualified judge so that he could ensure that the right decision has been taken as per the rules and the regulations of this country. Thereafter, the chief electoral officer of a state, in consultation with the chief election commissioner, should organize and conduct the Panchayati Raj election. Like you could say, the chief election commissioner and the chief electoral officer of a state, they both must be consulted before organizing the Panchayati Raj election. All right. The development function should be transferred to the Jila Parishad and all development staff should work under his control and the supervision. Okay, because Jila Parishad is at the district level. So if the Jila Parishad is handling the cases, then the things will be uniformly applied to all over the district and this will help to remove the discrepancies. The voluntary agency should play an important role in mobilizing the support of our people for the Panchayati Raj. Okay. A minister for Panchayati Raj should be appointed in the state council of ministers to look after the affairs of the Panchayati Raj institutions. Seats for SCs and STs should be reversed on the basis of their population. Okay, like ST and reservation was first recommended by the Ashok Mehta committee. Got it? Now, a constitutional recognition should be accorded to the Panchayati Raj institution. This would give them the requisite status like sanctity and stature. Because whenever something is, you can say, done by the constitution, then it is some kind of fixation. What does it mean? It means that the things could not be changed easily. Okay? So that's why they said that the Panchayati Raj institution must be given constitutional stature. So the state legislature could not easily exercise its arbitrary power on the state legislature. This would give them the status sanity stature that we had discussed and an assurance of the continuous functioning. It means that to supersede the Panchayati Raj system or suspending the Panchayati Raj institutions was not so easily after this. Okay. Thereafter, due to the collapse of the Janata government before the completion of its terms, no action could be taken on the recommendations of the Ashok Mehta committee at the central level. However, three states of Karnataka, West Bengal, and Andhra Pradesh took steps to revitalize the Panchayati Raj, keeping in view some of the recommendations of Ashok Mehta committee. Like what happened? Janata government, which appointed the Ashok Mehta committee in the 1977. Before completing their terms, they got dissolute. So, due to this, at central level, no formal action could be taken by anybody. But at the state level, there were three states like the state of Karnataka, like the West Bengal, and like the Andhra Pradesh. These three states came forward and they took the action on it. Okay, according the Ashok Mehta committee. Okay, thereafter the another one is the GVK Rao committee. All right, but I don't think that we have a sufficient time to start a discussion over it. So students, what we will do that we will start the discussion on the GVK Rao committee in the next lecture. Till then, just revise all the facts and figures we have discussed in this lecture and be ready for the another lecture. With this note, let's end this lecture and thank you.